Hi, my name is Caroline Rylance, and I was going to talk about my second learning and teaching interaction for chapters 4, 5, 6, 7, and I chose chapter 9, and then the gospel, teaching the gospel handbook. So starting with chapter 4, first talks about component display theory, and it gives different ways of teaching and sharing information. I thought this was important to share because it's something that really is helpful for helping you learn more, getting the teacher's input and getting kids' input, or the learners, different learners, knowing that you're getting enough instruction and discussion. I think that's important for a workshop or a lesson because you otherwise people lose interest or it isn't as effective as it should be. Having the input from both the teacher and the learner really helps each other understand each other and how things can be taught better. And I thought it was important and interesting, something I haven't really thought about before. One principle that I thought was important was, and one way I think I learn a lot is using stories. Stories really feel like you can connect and really gain a bunch of information and show by example. I know that from me personally learning these principles with a story really will help me understand really what everything is talking about. One thing that I want my learners to do is be able to take home principles, something that they can really use in their daily life and that they'll use it over and over again. Sorry, my baby's waking up. So I definitely want my learners to be able to take home things that I teach. And going on to chapter 5, it talks about engaging an audience. And I think one major thing that you need to know is really understanding the audience. Being able to understand them, you're more able to relate to them and grow that relationship with them. I think that you're able to have better discussions and conversations. And I think, and that's another point, is just one way to grow a relationship with them is really being able to discuss things with them. Having discussions really helps you grow to the learners, and the learners can grow and learn from the teacher also. I know it's intimidating. I've taught multiple things. I used to be a substitute teacher, and even just like teaching young women, it would be intimidating when I'm trying to be having a discussion with something and no one would answer. I was the only one, and I have to talk about certain things with them, and no one was getting involved. I think that can be one of the hardest things, is not having discussion when you want it and are expecting it, and because discussion really helps you learn more, I feel like. So I think that's one of the intimidating things, but I'm hoping that in my workshop that we'll be able to have a good enough relationship, and I'll be able to engage the audience enough, give them questions and answers that they'll be able to talk about and feel comfortable talking about with each other and with me. Going on to chapter 6 is teaching skills and tools in the family life education. I feel like I mentioned before, one that's super important is stories of life. I feel like you are able to learn a lot from people around you and from different stories, the good and the bad, because you see by example and what you could change for yourself and do better. One that I thought was interesting also was role play. I haven't really done that, but I could see in different family situations that um, role play would be helpful, because under stressful situations, you don't always know exactly what to do. So if you did role play, you would be able to keep it in your memory, and um, when a stressful situation comes, you would be able to know what to do and what to say. Chapter 7, working with diverse audiences. I think you just really have to be sensitive about about this, everything about family life education, because it's really, everyone grows up different, everyone's family is different, and everyone could have grown up in hard or difficult places, and or in their own family right then, and you have to be sensitive because you don't want to offend or um, make anyone feel guilty or sad about things they may have thought they have done. So just making sure you're sensitive and scholarly about your information and how to help people with that. And I think that's always important, especially when you're teaching. I also went over the marriage and relationship education, and it talks about just different theories and programs, and I think these are all important. And then the last one was teaching the gospel, and just one thing I want to bring up real fast is just bringing the Spirit into uh, your meeting, even if it's a not religious one. I think you could have a prayer in your heart that they'll be able to feel the Spirit, and most importantly, understand the information you're giving them and how they can help their families, because we just know families are the center of our gospel, and so important to us. And so really improving their family, that's your main goal. So I feel like if you have the Spirit with you, you will be able to teach them what they're supposed to know. And that's about it. Thanks for listening.